Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Dunrobin Ranch. My name is Anya, and I'm here with Captains Lewis and Clark. And with us today, we have Brandon Carpenter, my mentor and trainer for driving these ponies. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Anya. How are you this morning? It's good to see your face.
It's always great to hear your voice. Unfortunately, I can't see your face right now, but I'm doing well. How are you?
See, that's perfect. No face, but voice. That works out just right for you. We're doing good. Just anxious and glad to be here and looking forward to playing with you with the ponies. So this is fun. I just really enjoy this. A little bit something different.
Oh, I do as well.
Yeah, you can, and we're sharpening our skills a little bit and increase in our knowledge, and hopefully showing some folks what we're all about. And you never know, we may even pick up a tip or two from those that are watching. So that would be really good. So
that would be neat. Yeah.
Hey, tell us what you've done this week and what we're working on. I know last week we were adjusting the lines to get these guys to pull a little more even. So tell us how it's gone this week.
Yeah, so what we did last week is we shortened up the lines on the near pony, which is Captain Clark, who tends to be ahead of Captain Lewis, which means that he's actually doing less work. Lewis here on the right lags behind quite a bit. So by shortening up the lines on Clark, I can check him up a little bit and hopefully get Lewis to step up. And it looks like today Lewis is actually being worse than normal. So we're just going to use this whip here so I can encourage him to step up.
Yeah, so for what we're looking at is these guys, and I put my specs on so I can see a little better, but what we're talking about is when you pull up here, let's just stop and get a look at your evener, and we can show people what we're doing. And that is that each one of these guys, you can see the chains hanging down there. Those are heel chains that are attached to, there you go. Those are heel chains that are on the traces attached to each one of their single trees. So they're pulling on a piece of either wood, or in this case, it happens to be a metal single tree that's attached to. Well, that is then attached to the end of what's called the evener, and that swivels in the center. And so the single trees are attached to the very end. So two single trees onto an evener makes that a double tree, but that swivels. And so these horses sometimes figure out that if you walk just a little bit faster than your partner, he's doing all of the work, because when you turn that, it's, what you got is a lever. And so everybody knows when you've got a fulcrum on a lever, when you turn that one way, you've got a little bit more force to overcome. So the horse that's lagging a little bit actually pulls harder. And it doesn't seem like that. It seems like that, if he's behind, he's not pulling as hard, and that's not true. It's because of the force acting on that lever. So we're trying to even these guys out, because Lewis has figured out and not told Clark that if I walk just a little bit faster, he does all the work. So that's what we're working on, and good job. You did a really, really outstanding job of just adjusting a little bit and then working your hands, letting your hands do the work so that they pull a little even. So we'll I guess we'll probably just expand on that a little bit today. And did you get a chance to drive him much this week?
I did not, unfortunately. It's been a really busy week, so the last time I drove him was with you last week on Thursday.
Okay. That's all right. And for those that are watching, if you look at that evener that crosses that pole in the center, or the tongue, then it should be a perfect cross. It should be in two 90-degree angles for each horse, and she's much, much closer than she was before. And that's kind of what Anya's keeping her eye on. And you can also look at the yoke in the front that's hanging from the bottom of their collars, but it's harder to see that. You can see that right in front of you, and you're kind of keeping an eye on that and watching for one horse that's working a little bit less hard so that the other guy's working harder, and it's important to keep those even. So that's very good. Oh, nice turn. Those horses are doing a half pass around there. Very good job. And we call that a swing.
Boys.
Very good. Well, talk us through this now, Anya, what you're doing with your hands as you're doing that to hold these guys even, and that evener is much, much better. Very good. So tell us what you're doing.
So I thought I'd change direction here, so I had them do a little figure 8 there through the cones. And what I'm focusing on is when Lewis, our one pony here that's lagging behind, when he's on the offside or on the inside of the turn, I'm having him step up a little bit more. And I'm holding Clark back a little bit. So Clark, the one on the left here, has the shorter line. So I'm holding him back because, he's figured out that he can, if he pulls ahead, he's doing less work. So I'm trying to hold him back at the same time encouraging Lewis to step up.
And what does that feel like in your hands when you've got those lines in your hand? Can you describe what that feels like, whether you're making some progress or not?
Yeah, I feel like we're at the point now where Clark is responding before Lewis. And before that wasn't the case because Lewis was more responsive to the bit. I would put some pressure on the lines, and Lewis would slow down immediately. And Clark is a little harder in the mouth, so Clark wouldn't respond as quickly. But now that we have a shorter line on Clark, I feel like they're responding at the same time.
Very good. Very good. And so you physically feel that in your hand, or are you watching them, or both?
Both, absolutely both. So I feel that it's taking less pressure, less contact for Clark to respond, and I'm watching that evener and using that evener to help gauge how much I should be checking Clark up.
Very good. And how often are you checking that?
I'm just intermittently. I'll kind of, as I would with a saddle horse, I'll do a half halt to check up Clark a little bit, and then almost immediately I release the pressure as a reward when he, responds to me checking him up. And then if he starts pulling ahead again, then I'll kind of do a half halt and check him up again.
Very good. So you're continually doing that. So it's almost like you're driving a car. You're watching your gauges, you're watching your speed, you're watching everything, and then controlling your steering wheel and your feet, doing everything at once to respond to that. Would that be a good analogy?
Yeah, absolutely. I like that analogy.
Okay. Yeah,
it's kind of like driving an older model car that doesn't have cruise control.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it. You are the cruise control, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, they look like they're again settling in very nicely. They're working together, and they're not fidgeting like they were last week. I think it was Clark you had that was fidgeting a little bit too much.
Yeah, so last week was the first time in, over a month that I had switched their positions. Usually Clark is on the off side and Lewis is on the near side. And so I switched them last week, and I think it took them a little bit to get used to that. And now today they're already, settled in, doing a lot better.
Okay, so you have them in the same positions this week as you did last week.
Yes.
And look at the difference. Yeah, they're smart. These guys know what to do. It just feels odd to them. I would imagine it's like being able to do something right-handed for a long time, and then all of a sudden you're asked to do something left-handed, and it takes a little bit of time. Yeah, it's just a different perspective. They're used to watching that horse out of a certain eye, and the other eye is watching everything else, and now it's all swapped and switched, and so it takes a little bit of time, I think, for them to get used to that and settle in. But these guys are such old pros at this that it hasn't taken much that blowing the dust off of this has not been all that tough to do. So very, very good. And I like that they're in just a light trot, nice and even. They're not really trying to seesaw themselves back and forth. And I think your control on that is the key to that, because you're watching them and feeling them all the time. And if you watch the lines, you can tell who you're letting go and who you're holding up a little bit, just ever so much. You can just see it in the slack of the line. Very good.
Thank you, Brandon. Yeah, it's definitely been neat figuring them out, feeling them on the lines, and getting to know how they respond. And for those of you listening and watching, horses are a lot like people in that sense. They each have their own personalities. They respond to different triggers, different ways of communication. And, it's kind of like building a relationship with these guys. I had to get to know them. They had to get to know me. And our relationship basically is formed through my voice and my contact on the lines.
Yes, that's very, very true. One of the things I have to say is that we talked about and did shorten the lines on was it on Lewis, right?
On Clark.
Or on Clark. I always get them mixed up. Those guys are together all the time. So you can't think of one without the other. Anyway, we shortened his lines up. And, I remember right away you thought, well, it's not working quite as well. Maybe we should shorten them up again next time. And it's like, well, you can do that. But I think the smart thing, and I think once you realized as you were driving, you go, you know what? Maybe I can feel this better and make this more responsive and do it without trying to do too much with them mechanically. And that is perfect. That was a really, really smart and good decision on your part to realize that right off the bat. A lot of times we want to try to think about using something that we can do to control them instead of using our hands and our relationship. And you're talking about that relationship is exactly that payoff for that. So very, very good. And look at them. Oh, that's beautiful. That swinging around like that. Nice and easy.
Oh, boy.
You're making it look like it's just effortless. Good job. Good job.
With these boys, it is pretty effortless. They make it so easy on me.
Yeah, it is, and that is one good thing. We've been very fortunate in that they are so forgiving, and they know more about what's going on than you and I combined.
Oh, absolutely.
Nice.
They make us look really, really good.
There you go. That's the key to it. And we're not going to pay them a dime more for it either. That's the tragedy of it. Well, let's do something if we can. I'd like to see you just kind of slow them down to a walk, and let's do the tightest turn that you can make that your coach will allow you to make, because your wheels will only turn so much, and we don't want to break them. I think you've got a spinner on the side of there that you can kind of hear or not. I don't remember.
Boys.
And watch that. If you're watching at home, watch that hind wheel on this side. It should turn just minimally. There we go. Nice. Look at him half pass around. Anya's watching her wheel, making sure she doesn't break anything. And look at that. Look at the difference between this wheel on the left rear and the wheel on the right front. How much difference in movement there is there. Very good. Nice turn. Very good swing. Look how even they are. Nice job. So, how much adjusting are you doing when you're doing this? Talk us through it.
So I'm watching my wheel to make sure, I'm not jackknifing my cart here, and I'm using my inside inside line for the turn. If I feel my back wheel moving forward too much, then I'm checking them up, kind of like doing a half halt, so that my back wheel, come on boys, keep going, is staying, as solid as possible, not moving, and trying to keep that back wheel in place while we're pivoting on the front.
Very good. Yeah, and it's almost right. I think you're right at the maximum. And look how your horses are swinging around. Very, very good. Very nice.
Oh, boys.
Really like it.
Come on, Lulu.
Let's see. You've got the pet names. Is that a Captain Lulu or just a common Lulu?
Just a Lulu.
And what do you call him, Clark, when he does something well?
Well, I just call him Clarky.
Clarky and Lulu. I don't think those fellas, when they come across the pass, in 1802, were kind of anticipating that kind of monikers that would be hung on.
Clarky and Lulu.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Very good. Now, you'll notice when you turned, the faster you go, the wider the turn is, because they're not swinging as much; they're going forward, right? Mm-hmm. And so that is one of the things we can demonstrate. I don't know if you can turn real well at either a fast walk or that's how those horses are walking forward. and your hind wheel is still turning. There, now you're tightening it up, but you have to go slower forward to make that happen. Very good.
Good boys. Good boys.
Very good.
Easy now. Easy now. G. Good boys. There we go.
And we can even hear.
I got a little tight there.
Nice.
Oh, she's crying. She doesn't know what's going on when we're turning like that. Good girl.
Get busy.
She's contributing to the conversation.
Well, you've done very, very well for about 15 minutes here, so let's change this up a little, and let's see how well you can back. I mentioned that last time that we're gonna try some backing a little bit, and early on, these guys, when we first hitched them, they were not backing well at all. It'd been a while. They would split apart on the hind ends, and like they were wanting to go two different directions. So they've done. I think you've done a little bit of backing with them, and they've done much, much better. But let's see how far you can go back before they start to lose it, and if you can control them. And if this fails, this is not a
back.
To make Anya look foolish at all. We're not doing that. We're just wanting to watch the discipline.
We're practicing this.
And we're practicing.
Boys.
That's exactly right. Look at that. We're going to walk together.
Good boys.
Nice. They're keeping their hind ends together. Oh.
Forward, boys.
Okay.
Come on, boys. Walk up. In who?
And notice
good
how
boys.
Anya's straightened that out, and it's not a big deal. When you lose your line like that, going straight back, pulling forward, and then having them start over, and you don't have to go far, but you do need to get straightened out.
Back. Oh no.
Okay.
And forward, boys. Okay, and who?
So, looks like we've got your near side horse is pulling a little faster to the back. Mm-hmm. And there we go. That's better. That's better.
Good
there
boys.
we go.
Oh.
Okay, so let's just. There you go. Now stop. Right there.
Who?
I think when you back up and you see one start to move out away from your tongue or put some pressure on the traces, just stop him and see if he'll step back in. Just stop everything instead of going forward. We'll just see if we can get him to understand. Like, oh no,
back.
we're gonna come back. There we go. Very good.
Back. Oh, I already started out crooked there. Who? Come on, boys. Let's see if I can get them to step over.
And these turn so quickly on the bolster.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Good job. Swinging them around. Good job.
Oh no.
It's all right.
Whew, this is tricky.
It is hard, isn't it? It is not easy. So for those that watch someone who can back, with a team of 4 up or 6 up, that's an accomplishment. Very good. And a lot of practice on the part of these ponies.
Yeah, so this is the first time I've really worked on this with them. And who?
Yep. No, that's right. That's exactly right. It really every turn, every backup has just been kind of cursory, to do some little small thing or to stop them, keep them from going forward. There we go. It's all right. Swing them around. Good job.
There we go. Who now?
There.
Easy,
nice.
and back. And back.
Oh. See how their hind end come apart. There. Look at him go back over there. Good job. So, we can play with this more. And you can play with this in the future too. But one of the issues here is getting them to not pull unevenly
back
and then pull themselves apart. Oh, look at him move against that pull. Very good. That's better. That's better.
Oh, now boys, who?
Unevenly.
Back.
And you're not when you slow down, they are putting themselves back where he should, especially your near side horse. He's kind of more of the culprit, and he's pulling a little
and he's
faster.
Getting more fidgety too. Lewis on the right here is staying nice and calm. Clark is getting agitated and not liking this.
Yes, exactly. And I think part of that's why he's coming back. He wants to move back, but when he does, he's like, hey, I want to move, and he's pushing that tongue over a little bit, and then he moves too fast, and then blows it out of the way. Gets away from it, and then has to come back.
I'm gonna let them do a lap. to get his fidgety out, and then we'll try again.
Very good. Yep. Trying to clear their minds a little bit.
And ho, boys, ho. All right, back. Come on, boys, back.
Very
Back. Good boys. Good boys.
That's better.
Good boys. Good boys. Keep
Good
going.
job.
Oh,
That's all right.
1 second, Clark just got his line over Lewis's Hames.
I saw him throw
there we go,
he
buddy.
threw his face a little bit.
Yeah,
Anya,
we were doing so good. Good boys. Good
you went
boys.
twice as far, I think, that time without, letting the wheels or getting the wheels starting to move off to the side. So you did much, much better that time. And
Good boys.
I think part of that is slow as control. Oh, no, look at him. Yeah, he is not liking this and fidgeting a little bit. So
yeah, this is really, I think it's a brain challenge for him. He's not thrilled about it.
Yep. That's exactly right. Look at him work the bit a little bit more. They both are tiny bit. Very good.
No. Hoo. G, boys, G.
Very good. Good control.
Who now?
Now see what you just done. You really didn't move that wagon, but you swung those horses back over in line. Very good job.
Who? Ha, boys, ha.
Good. They're listening.
And
Very
who?
good.
And who? Oh, Clark is not happy about this.
Well, let's do this. Let's not get him over agitated because you're gaining and you're doing some really, really good work here. You're moving them and not the wagon, and you're correcting him. That's perfect. And he's just a little agitated, but you're making him do it. So let's go ahead and just kind of line him up, and then just stop and let them stand. Let's just let them think about what they've done a little bit. Yeah, he's wanting to take that bit.
And who?
And it's there. Let's just let him stand and see if he calms down a little bit. Drop his energy a little and watch his head come down.
Good boys.
There it goes. There. See that head drop down a little bit?
Yep. Good
Relax.
boys.
Very good. All right.
Good boys.
Now, if you want, we've got just a few minutes left. We can do whatever you want. It's freestyle movement this morning. So if you want to just, give them, I think that's enough of the lesson for backing up or the work or just sharpening that. They know how. It's just that they're not very sharp at it. And so good job on that. You were really getting some more distance there, which is perfect. That's what we're looking for, is to be able to back them straight up or to be able to control them. And at some point, we're going to want to turn them and get them to back in at an angle, but that's under your control. So good job. Let's just let them kind of walk it out a little bit and enjoy the pulling, because they do enjoy it. You can tell they relax into it.
Absolutely.
And he's calm now. Look at how his head's come down.
Boys.
He's not working that bit. So yeah, let's just go for 3-4 more minutes. Anything you want.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Yeah, this has been a really beneficial session.
Good. So you're better at this than I am. I can do it perfectly from my chair, but get me on the lines, and I'm a little bit lackluster. Let's call it.
Well, I appreciate your patience, because this was a bit tricky today.
Yeah, no, this is very, very,
Easy,
a very frustrating thing to do.
Oh, good boys. Good boys.
And it looks like, do you have that board out there for them to walk on? Just something to have as an obstacle?
Yeah, we use it for the saddle horses, but I'm sure I could get them to walk over. Would you like me to try it?
Oh, I shouldn't tell you what to do, but now that you brought it up.
Oh, I think that would be fun.
I bet you they're going to be probably no problem.
Good boys. Good boys. Good boys.
And I would, just you never know. But if there is a little bit of spook to them when they put their foot on there and it makes a different sound, or the other side kicks up a little bit, you could have them spook on you. So be ready to pull them up, hold them up, turn them.
So they're used to walking it in their riding lessons. They just haven't done it with a cart. Oh, good boy.
Look at that. That's nothing.
Yeah. They didn't flinch.
That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Very good job. I'm getting more and more impressed with them and you as well. That's your handling. I like how your hands are nice and quiet. You've got a little bit of slack in the rein there, or your lines, and you're moving them appropriately. So good job. Absolutely outstanding. So we may have somebody who knows a little bit more than we do about it. If they do, boy, let us know. We'd love to encourage the input and tell us why and what and all of that sort of stuff too. So, well, Anya, I think we're probably done for the morning.
Comments.
Yeah, thank you very much. You did a great job. I really appreciate it. And
thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, I guess the only thing we can do is give them just a little bit more handful of oats for me. Tell them it's from me. That's the payoff.
I will. I'll give him a big old hug and a scratch from good old Brandon.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much, Brandon. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Anya. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.